Hey guys, it's for your reference.
Sexy edition. I love you starting. This is great.
Mm-hmm.
Since we're trying new things, we wanted to shout out some of our fellow potties.
Yeah, we did a guest spot on Late to the Show.
Michael and Olivia, we love you guys. We're pretty much doing the same episode we did on your show. I guess you could say we're jumping the spider.
And we've got a new segment
called Quid Pro Mo. We also guested recently on IMDb Journey. We gotta love our fellow Aussies, I tell ya. And these guys are a ripper. Daniel and Dean, thank you so much for having us on your show. We're on your 69th episode, if you're nasty. And we're also participating in their Pod v Pod, riveting all the way through. And they also have a very iconic movie draft. So check it out, guys. Spoiler alert.
We won.
But, we won't hold it against you. So here's the promo.
Hi guys, I'm Dean.
And I'm Daniel.
And we're from the IMDb Journey podcast,
where we break down every movie from the top 250 list, giving our own thoughts and reviews and any general discussion along the way.
But when we're not doing that, we also battle other podcasts in various movie-related games of trivia and drafts.
We also give quick reviews about every other film we've watched as well.
Yeah, here we're quite good too.
Yeah, if you guys don't believe us, why don't you listen to these genuine testimonies?
Oh, hey guys, you guys are really good. I love your chemistry.
Oh, hey, brew, it's this is a good podcast, yo. Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, love the banter, guys. Keep it up.
IMDb Journey is one of my favorite podcasts of all time. Fantastic testimonies.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Absolutely genuine and real. And if you want to give a genuine testimony as well, go ahead and search for IMDb Journey. You can find us on all your favourite podcast sites, including iTunes, Stitcher, and Spotify.
So come along and join our journey.
Hey, friends and lovers, it's for your reference.
Welcome.
Right? We're going to have a good time. You know why?
We're doing Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse.
Wow. Were my spidey senses tingling you?
Oh, I could feel it because I'm also Spider-Man.
Are we done?
Yep.
Can we leave?
Wrap it up.
Go and check out another episode and we're done. Nice. And we don't rehearse this, guys. This is all, and we don't even get paid for this commentary. Can you believe?
Out of the dome.
Out of the dome and into the Spiderverse. And there's your soundbite right there. Okay, guys, let's get into the stats. You know how this runs. It came out in December of 2018. It's now available on Netflix. So much throughout watching this movie. There was so much commentary that we had that we just had to do a full episode on this.
Yes, we did. And the funny thing is, I've been trying to get you to watch this movie for the longest time.
It's not that I didn't want to watch it, but I've mentioned it a few times. I've got superhero fatigue.
Yeah, true.
So unless it's going to be something like vastly different.
Plus, our schedule has been quite crazy as well.
June was a great time. June, July-ish was a great time for cinema and also for returning reigning shows. Daddywood, if you're nasty. Just wow. It's been a very busy packed time. But yeah, we definitely needed to watch this. But just to finish off my thought, unless it's like, our Queen Joaquin with his Joker coming out in October, or if it's Black Panther, like it needs to be different. If it's a run-of-the-mill sort of superhero movie, I'm not about that life.
And which Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse isn't. It's not your run-off-the-mill superhero movie. It's quite different and unique and fun.
So let's go through the stats so we can talk about it.
Yep.
Quite a massive achievement. It made quite a lot in the box office. The budget was $90 million.
Wow.
It was justified though.
You could see it.
It was well justified. If they're going to spend that much, pay your animators. Hopefully you're paying them overtime.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
But yes, 90 million, and then it grossed in America. Oh, it's saying worldwide. Sorry, IMDb. Forgive me. 375 million.
That's quite
Yeah.
a healthy profit.
Yeah, that's one way to put it, right? Let's talk about the cast. The voice acting was pretty good. I was quite impressed with the voice acting.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I don't think I even thought about it that much. Like it was just,
Right.
yeah, for sure.
I also even before we go through the cast, let me just go through the accolades and the awards. It won the Academy Award. It won the Oscar this year for the Best Animated Feature Film. It also got a BAFTA for the same category. Also a Golden Globe.
Oh, nice.
Right?
Racked up all the awards, did it?
Yeah, and a whole slew of awards. Well deserved. Feel free to go and check it out. Check out all the accolades because it definitely deserved it. So let's get to the cast. We have Miles Morales, our protagonist, our go-to guy, not our Peter Parker, played by Shameik Moore. Do you think he's related to Shamar Moore?
I don't think so.
He has the same spelling, the same last name.
So is Julian Moore.
Oh, yeah, actually.
Far out.
Wait, why can't they be related?
Well, they can be.
Let's change the topic. Listen to our episode of A Single Man where Julianne Moore stars. We got Peter B. Parker, played by Jack Johnson. We have Gwen Stacy, played by Haley Steinfeld. We have Mahershala Ali as the uncle.
Oh, wow, I didn't. Yeah, I should have gotten that.
It was a smooth, velvety, honey voice, and I can't believe we didn't place it, but there you go. Brian Tyree Henry.
What is Paperboy doing in
as
this?
the daddy, as the paper daddy, right there. Aunt May, Lily Tomlin. You know what? I'm glad we didn't read the cast before we got onto here because it's surprise after surprise, really.
Yeah, because I know you usually like guessing this stuff. I'm really bad with voices, so.
But I don't think they were
1,000 years
too
to try and get it.
distracting because sometimes that can happen, especially with like Hayao Miyazaki movies and they do the English dub. It gets very distracting unless it's Tina Fey and Ponyo and we stan.
Yeah, Howl's Moving Castle is quite brilliantly done in English, I think.
Yes, and I know Christian Bale's voice is quite distinctive, but when he's not yelling at producers and the crew, his voice is quite dreamy. So I will allow it.
Oh, yeah.
I will stand a Christian Bale dub in my household.
And we'll be doing a Studio Ghibli
We will?
marathon quite soon, so.
Hey! There's something for everyone, guys. It's for your reference.
For sure.
Okay, there's a whole lot of other people in the cast. Mary Jane, Zoe Kravitz. I usually don't like John Mulaney, but he was Spider-Ham, so good for him. And I'll just do two more. Kamiko Glenn Penny Parker and Spider-Man Noir. You picked it up. It's Nicolas Cage.
His voice is, you can get Nicolas Cage's voice from anywhere. It's quite distinct.
You know what? Unless you guys like follow us on Twitter, you probably don't know. I, until recently, had never watched a Nicolas Cage film. So I wouldn't have been able to place his voice.
Yeah, and the fact that I could place it, you know for sure that it's quite recognizable.
Well, you know, it's a lot, right? So let's move into our first impressions and not just about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, because Spider-Man, iterations of Spider-Man have existed since we were kids. Let's talk about that generally, and then we'll talk about the Spider-Verse and our first impressions for that.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. I think most of us grew up watching Spider-Man. Like it's one of those things that you grow up loving. It's quite unique. I don't think as much attention was given to Spider-Man as it did for Superman or Batman, but it was definitely in there in my rotation for watching all this when I was a kid.
So Peter Parker, because you have Spider-Man, you have Superman and Batman, but they kind of already had their shit sorted out. The good thing and the relatable thing about Spider-Man is he didn't know what he was doing, and he was fun and he was quirky and he was awkward. And I think that helps to resonate as well.
Yeah, it does. And I kept on, as a kid, I kept on looking for spiders so they could bite me.
Oh, no. Well, you're in Australia now, so you're in the best place to get bitten by a spider. You might not survive, though.
Yeah, we'll see how we go with that.
Oh, no. It's going to be the shortest origin story. Right there.
Or maybe it won't be.
Oh, my.
You don't know.
Please let this not be the last episode of Point Reference. This will not be your legacy.
You know how people die and then they become like more successful? Like I think Michael Jackson became what more dead than he was alive. So maybe our podcast will just shoot right up after that.
Yeah, but you still need to be like famous or recognizable to some extent.
Well,
you can't go from 0 to 0. Like, it just doesn't work.
mate. Oh yeah, I give you that.
Right?
Yeah, I thought I could a good rebuttal, but no, it's not happening.
We know we have a handful of listeners and we fucking love you guys. But please don't go out looking for spiders. But I understand. I understand the gist of what you're saying. Because comic books were such a big thing. Personally, in my circles, we didn't really read the comic books, but we always had those Saturday morning cartoons, even before the actual movies came out. So transitioning to, you know, the first sort of iterations of Spider-Man, what's the most memorable? So we've got, I'm probably going to do it out of order. We've got Tobey Maguire, fucking Stan, Seabiscuit motherfucker, Andrew Garfield, don't care for him, greasy motherfucker.
He's good. He's good people, man.
Not in mine household. Tom Holland, he's a cutesy little one.
Yeah.
Just put him in your pocket. He's not going to hurt you. He'll be fine. And yeah, that's in cinemas like now. So
yeah, it is.
You know, you can go into there. But how did you feel experiencing all of those sort of Spider-Man movies? Was it special at first, or it was just this is okay? And we had William Dafoe playing Green Goblin.
Yeah, I think the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire was good. I think I enjoyed it. Most people didn't, which is fine because people have read comics and stuff. I've not really dabbled in that world of Spider-Man comics, but it was fine. I didn't really care too much about what people thought it didn't work or how many villains it had in the second one. So I appreciated it for what it was. Some good action scenes, and yeah, it's Spider-Man. You get what you get. So I didn't really think much about it.
It was cute. It was cute. Like, it was fine. I feel like I'm missing a Spider-Man, but you know, let us know if we've missed another Spider-Man.
No, that's all.
It was nice. It was at a time where we weren't saturated with, you know, 3 or 4 superhero movies in one year.
Yeah.
So it was nice. It was a little indulgent. Not really a guilty pleasure, but it was nice. It was nice to dip into that world. And now we come to all of these iterations of Marvel movies, and this is coming out of Marvel. So for all of the milking that they do with the franchise, they are painfully aware of that in Into the Spider-Verse, and I was here for it.
Yeah, for sure. They embrace the history. Like, yeah, we made Tobey Maguire dance in the street and we embrace it, the hell, you know?
But I feel like they animated it a lot more cooler because it did not look like that.
No, I think it's just in animation, it looks better in animation than it did in real life.
Is that canon or filler?
That is canon, man. That is canon.
But it was good. It paid a nice little homage to the Spider-Mans that have been. Acknowledging the fact that, yes, they have milked it and they have rebooted it every which way. But you know what? We're about to blow your fucking minds.
Yeah, for sure. And blown while we, weren't you? Like,
Super
it's just,
blown.
yeah.
Spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, spoilers. If you're listening to this and you've not watched it, please do yourself a favor. Stop the podcast, watch the movie.
Read the fine print, Spider-Man, Into the Spoilerverse. Again, we don't get paid for this commentary.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay for that either.
How dare you? Man, we were getting along just fine. Just fine. Yeah, so we're going to dive into spoilers. Hi, welcome. How are you going? This is what we do around here. But Something that I just want to point out about this, we do stand a strong Donald Glover in this household. And I know I've talked about him quite a lot, and even Community as well, which we'll do eventually when we have a quiet week. But around 2010, when Twitter was popping, Twitter's still popping, but, it was during a time where, fans campaigned for Donald Glover to be Spider-Man. Because really, when you get to know him, especially when he had his YouTube channel, when he had his movie as well, he was the quintessential modern day Spider-Man. He had those sensibilities about him. So it kind of made sense that, yeah, of course, he should be Spider-Man. Why not? And then it just turned into this big, cultural fossil that people refer to now. And I do remember we're watching the film and we have Miles' character going to his uncle Mahershala.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Hello.
I'll take some more, thank you. And on the TV, it's a really short clip. It's 5 seconds, or maybe even 3 seconds. There's a clip of a guy wearing a Spider-Man shirt. And even from that clip, I could tell that was from an opening sequence in Community where Troy, Donald Glover's character, was wearing a Spider-Man shirt.
Yeah, you caught that. I completely missed it.
But I think that's how crazy. I don't watch a lot of things, as you guys will start to understand. But when I stand fucking hard. And so from those 3 seconds, I knew exactly what that was. And I'm sure it's in IMDb trivia.
Yeah, Dado was pretty much talking about you in the song.
Really?
Yeah. Dado and Eminem. It's more of an Eminem jump than a Dido song, is it?
Shout out to Dido. We will go down with this ship with you, Dido. She's great. We love her.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to mention before we dive into the actual movie is, I remember all of that outrage. There was so much outrage. How could Donald Glover be Spider-Man? This is not believable. This is not true to the literary art of a comic book. There was so much swirling around. And as much as I love Spider-Man into the Spoilerverse, they had to go so wackadoo crazy. They had to, introduce quantum theory and all of these multiverses just so when a black Spider-Man comes along, people don't lose their shit.
What did you say?
You heard me. Go back 20 seconds if you want to hear me say it again. True? True or not true?
I guess I didn't think of it like that. Jesus Christ. Your mind is twisted. Yeah.
But am I wrong though?
Well, yeah, I guess not. Well, because people could walk away saying, at least we've got our white Spider-Man somewhere out there.
Yeah, they didn't even change Peter Parker. Peter Parker wasn't black. They had to introduce another kid, and then a little Japanese kid, and then a porky pig.
So this is the realm where you can get your black Spider-Man.
Yes. If he was just to pop out of nowhere, people would be like, no, throw this man in jail. He's crazy. He's not Spider-Man.
Hey, look, a Spider-Man wearing a hoodie. Got him down, man.
Oh, no. And it's probably a good thing Commissioner Gordon wasn't there and the police was his dad.
Mate, Commissioner Gordon is Batman.
What? Yeah, actually. That's all I'm saying. If you were looking for a safe podcast that didn't fuck you up and you could listen to with your children, this is not it.
Far out, man. Anyway, yeah, I see your point.
But you can't disagree with me.
Yeah, I see it.
And you know where I'm leading to. If you've listened to a few episodes, you know what I'm about to say.
Or maybe they should do the same thing with James Bond.
Thank you. 2019, Katie from the For Your Reference podcast will be campaigning for our man, Idris Elba, to be James Bond. Are you telling me just go into James Bond, create some multiverses, make a black James Bond, and we're good. We're laughing.
Oh, guess again. he can't be he can't be 007 though. There's only one 007, isn't there?
Who'll be 0069 then?
Ooh. It'll be 069, but I get your point.
Really? You're not
What?
thinking about the sexual possibilities. You're just looking at the semantics of the numbers.
Yeah, because,
You need to leave.
well, 0069, then you have double making an ass. I don't think anyone would want that.
Everyone wants a 69 the ass. There's your soundbite right there. See?
Okay.
If we're not saying controversial things, we're saying sexual things. You started that.
Can we go on with the movie?
I don't know. Can we?
Yes, please.
It's not ass time. We're moving on.
Yes.
Let's dive into it. Let's generally go through first impressions for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, I loved it. I really did love it. It's got everything for everyone. Like
Yes.
the different type of characters in Spider-Man that they introduce. It's a different flavor, and you get your newer Spider-Man with Nicolas
love
Cage,
that.
and
That
it's
was so
amazing.
good.
And it's like, oh my god, you feel like you're watching Sin City. Like I feel like I'm a character in Sin City. And then you have your what was it, Pocky Pig,
Yeah.
and you get the Bugs Bunny feel.
Yeah.
Like a character straight out of Looney Tunes.
Just waiting for like the Acme Dynamite.
Yeah, and I can't believe the last. It takes me so far back. I can't remember the last time I watched a Looney Tunes. I watched Looney Tunes, and I've got all this nostalgia building. I was like, oh! But it was really exciting. It was really exciting for me. The storyline is quite great. It's quite well written. The shots, the comic book effect.
It was gorgeous.
It tells the story so perfectly, and the visuals. It's quite stunning the way it's done. The fighting scenes as well. The action is quite good. We have Miles, who's Shamik Moore does a really good
shout outs.
he really does a really good performance, and you can quite as well see his struggles. And I think for me the main plot point was more of resilience and how you can anyone can be a hero kind of thing. But it's just good generally. What about you?
I think it had a very nice melting pot of, like you said, it's a movie for everyone. For, the bigger kids at heart that used to watch those Saturday morning cartoons or used to read those comic books and lived through all of those iterations of Spider-Man. And also kids now that don't really have that reference point, right? And they're just starting fresh with Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Right? You've got that overly self-aware, being super meta, right? Painfully aware of the fact that they've rebooted things to shit. And a lot of the time with our commentary, the characters were mimicking what we were saying as well. And that's such a new age sort of millennial thing as well. So it really brought together the best of all ages.
Yeah.
There's your soundbite. Put it on a movie poster, guys. Send us some royalties. Throw us a central too. But wow, I really enjoyed it. It was great, and it's great. It's just a good watch. It has a solid story as well. I think the logic is fine for the multiverse. Thanks to Arbit and alternate timelines and Community, it was quite easy to follow through with what was going on. But I really enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah. It really was.
The music was really good as well.
Oh, don't get me started.
So good.
The amount of times I was just humming Sunflower and singing through Sunflower. It's brilliant. The way they use it, the score in this, it's quite enjoyable as well.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely a nice, well, if you're not listening to For Your Reference podcast and you want to listen to some music, probably just put on the soundtrack.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
Take all your teenage angst away. What would you say was your favorite sort of scene in the Spider-Verse?
I'd say it's him and his father bonding right at the end.
Oh, who would have thought a cute little animated Spider-Man movie would move us to tears?
Yeah, it was quite heartwarming to see. Because, we all want to connect to our parents to that some sort of level.
Yeah. So let's talk more about Miles Morales.
Miles. Oh, where do we start? Oh, the fact that his name is Morales. Like he took the mother's last name, I think.
How progressive, right?
Super progressive. Come on.
Good for you, Marvel.
Then again, an anime, multiple universes. Not anime, but animation.
We stand Lee Marvel. Sometimes. Not all the time. Shout out to Stan Lee's cameo. That was quite nice too.
Yeah, that was quite heartwarming to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite nice.
Yeah.
Super progressive. I did mention it a little bit at the start, but I do just want to point out the way that they transcribed the Peter Parker, but in this case, Miles's character, it fits so perfectly in what it would be like to just grow up and understand what life is, really. It was nice. It was nice to have that because that's the standard sort of formula for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Awkward, angsty, all of that not fun stuff that you have to go through.
True.
Yeah. So let's talk more about let's explore some other characters, yeah? You wanna do Peter Parker?
Yeah, Peter B. Parker or Peter Parker.
Up to you.
So we can start off with Peter Parker. The one from Earth.
The Blondie.
The Blondie. Yeah.
Played by Chris Pine, would you believe?
Oh. Chris Pine. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's do we get to see him much? So we see in the opening sequence he's quite jaded. Not jaded per se. He's like the mundanity of it all. But he's still got his spirit, he's still doing it, he's still loving it. But it's become quite a routine.
Are you talking about Peter B. Parker or are you talking about Chris Pine?
Oh, I think I'm
Because
talking
Chris
about
Pine
Peter
was
B.
like a
Parker.
happy-go-lucky. He was a great guy.
Was he?
Yeah, he was a super great guy.
Oh yeah, maybe
He
I'm
was like on
confusing
his
with Peter's.
Yeah, he was on his like deathbed trying to get Miles some lessons and then he died.
Oh yeah.
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 He was the happy one. So
You know what was
there's not really
weird
much to
though?
mention about him.
He
Yes?
didn't notice Miles up until when Miles
Actually,
was
yeah.
literally in
One of
his-
your spidey senses would have been tingling like
I guess you have to be 5 feet away from each other for it to
it
tingle.
happens a lot in this movie actually. And I'm not sure if we're for your nitpick reference, but it did get a bit annoying because they would be fighting and then the spidey senses would go off. And it's like, wouldn't that happen earlier?
I'm pretty sure there's some people out there who are really super knowledgeable about this, shouting at their podcatchers or whatever they're listening to us on, saying, it's because of ABC. Well, we don't know that, but to us minions, just seems as if it's
No, just imagine
an oversight.
Just imagine a multiverse where we say the right thing.
Oh my god, you're ridiculous.
Right?
What about you?
So the normal Peter Parker, there wasn't really any sort of character development. He was more like a catalyst, like a reference point for Miles to look up to. And then you have like the Peter B. Parker and it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice to see a hero struggle, that not everything. Okay. Not sure if you heard our dog sighing, but I think he agrees. Hard life. Hey, buddy.
Hard life, man.
But yeah, it's nice to see that there are struggles as well. It is quite sad that his marriage had to break down and he kind of let go of himself. But, sometimes things aren't peachy. And in this particular multiverse, it just didn't work out for him.
Yeah, and he wasn't ready to have kids or whatever the hell that was.
No, I think it was just some cute sort of commentary.
No, he really wasn't keen on kids.
Do you think that's why he broke up with Mary Jane?
Yeah.
There is a whole story there. Let's dive into that.
There is. He completely let himself go because he thought that, Mary Jane wanted kids and he wasn't ready. And he just pulled away from all that, and which I think is quite dickish because he can all talk about this stuff. But yeah.
How did you turn this into a Nicholas Sparks novel?
You are welcome.
I am not
Just
welcome.
give me 5 minutes and I'll turn it into a Daniel Steele novel.
I don't read a book. I don't understand that reference.
Come on now. Anyway, moving on.
For any fans you are satiated by OT, you're welcome.
Oh, for sure. Anyway. But what was I saying?
We're talking about Peter B. Parker.
Yes.
And I really enjoyed the dynamic that he had with Miles. It was quite nice. You know, sometimes when you have that back and forth, the expert that's begrudgingly following along, sometimes that can become a bit onerous, and it's like, okay, we get it, let's move on, teach him something. Like sometimes films can get like that, but in this particular case I thought it was great. I thought it was sharp and it was bitey, and I really enjoyed their exchanges.
Yeah, it was quite good. And you could see that Miles actually gave him a little bit of hope or connection, like something that he was craving for, or something that he missed and he didn't exactly know that he needed it.
Like that vibrancy of life.
Yes.
Sucking the marrow out of life.
Oh yeah, you
Dead
love that
Poet
marrow.
Society. Yeah, we needed to cover that too. There you go. I'm well read in a movie sense. And there's our merch right there. But I did. Peter B. Parker, I think, was quite nice, and it really turned the head on the happy-go-lucky Spider-Man that we all know in this day. Venom didn't make an appearance, did he?
No, but I don't really care about that.
But we do stand a Tom Hardy in this household.
Yeah, we do. But Venom wasn't that great a movie anyway.
And we do like Riz Ahmed.
We do. Where did we
Right?
see him? It was the HBO,
Night Of.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was the first thing I
He was
watched him
so
in.
good at his character. I actually hated him for a little while. But, shout out to you, Riz Ahmed. You seem cool, so you might be listening. It's if this is the first time you guys are listening to us, we're called for your reference because we reference other things. Cool. That's another reference. There you go. So sorry if this bothers you, but it's kind of our bants. It's our wheelhouse. It's our Will Forte. But I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed Peter B. Parker. I thought it was quite nice, and I liked their little ragtag band of misfits as well. Let's go through them. Who do you want to go through first? You kind of covered Nicolas Cage. Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about Gwen. Because she comes in and goes into Miles' high school.
Yeah.
And Miles hasn't seen her before, and their first interaction is quite hilarious. Miles,
He says time is relative.
it feels like an OT joke, doesn't it?
Oh, does it? Are you rebranding a KT joke?
Oh, relativity theory.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like I would say that.
Isn't that how we got together?
Yes, it is.
Serendipity, mate.
Ooh.
Get into it. Time is relative. Also, time is non-linear. I say it as a gripe to a movie I'm not going to say because I fucking hate it, and I also don't want to spoil it either. But time is non-linear is my verbal smoke bomb for a conversation.
You can mess up any movie and just be like, time is non-linear, bitch.
Be like, that wasn't like Commissioner Gordon isn't in Spider-Man. Smoke bomb. Time is non-linear. And you just need to hightail it out of there.
Yeah, for sure.
But it was nice, and it was a meet cute, which I mentioned a few times.
Yeah, and she, you know what, it ruined it, because in the poster they have like 3 Spider-Men in there, and they're like, one of them is a girl, so pretty much that's Gwen. So when they're all fighting and there was another Spider-Man coming, I was like, I think that's her.
Yeah. You knew it. You called it.
Yeah, but you don't watch this for spoilers or anything. It's just more of, it's really fun. End-to-end fun.
And something to pick up off on as well, she actually transported into this multiverse, like into the real world, if you will, 2 weeks earlier than this whole catastrophe. So they must have been doing some testing as well. That went on, which is quite interesting. I guess she was just trying to find her own kind, right? Because she said that her senses led her to the school.
Yeah.
So she wasn't really sure what she was doing, but she just followed her senses, right? Something that's also quite interesting that I never really thought about, but it wasn't really hidden or shrouded in any sort of secrecy, is, the quintessential Peter Parker was bitten by a spider. These are things we know. Unless it's the Peppa Pig one and he gets bitten by a pig.
What?
But in any case, the pig character.
He was still bitten by a spider.
Was he a pig that got bitten by a spider? Oh, sorry.
You thought of pig beating? Wait, what?
I am going to get my writer's credit, Marvel. Acknowledge me as your fourth Hokage.
Well, we already have a fourth Hokage. It'll be like the 8th.
Mate, I'm so fast I stole the title.
Oh, time is non linear as well, eh?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's for your reference. Jesus Christ, fucking save us if this is derailing. But what I was going to say in regards to that is, yes, Peter Parker got bitten by one spider. It is not really that far-fetched to think that there's more than one of those sorts of spiders. And you would kind of have more than one Spider-Man. Like, that makes complete sense.
Yeah, because it's something that's created in the lab.
But what do you think about the, like, zip-zap, like, powers that he has? Which I don't know. I don't know how far this spider hole goes, like, in regards to his capabilities. But he's like Chidori. Sorry, that's another Naruto reference.
Are you all right there?
The lightning and being invisible. I don't really know whether those are capabilities of Spider-Man, or maybe they're just
No, they're
newly
not.
being
So
introduced.
every spider is created different or from a different lab. So you'd assume everyone's trying their own formula and stuff. So each person that's bitten by a different spider would essentially have different skill sets and different abilities.
Man, you really spun that web.
You're welcome.
Well, I don't know. It just seems like he had a lot of capabilities. And then when he was trying to stick onto things, I thought that was quite arbitrary. But, you know, it was kind of like a plot device. When they needed him to be incompetent, they kind of had that there.
I guess it was more to just show that he was overthinking things too much. And he wasn't really confident, or he didn't have faith in himself to do these things that come instinctively, because Spider-Man is all about his senses and his, so it's all natural, using your body to its fullest potential and trusting your body will do the right thing at the right moment. He didn't exactly have that. So there was a little bit of doubt, and your body would not respond with that kind of headspace.
If you guys are listening, ardent Spider-Man fans, please send us an email at hello@fyrpodcast.com or reach us out on the Twitter. There's something pertinent that I do want to know. You've got those big eyes like you're worried about what I'm about to say. No, it's a genuine cinephile query.
Oh dear. All right, what was it?
So at some point, there must be a limit to the spider web, right? Like, he doesn't have infinite amounts of this spider web in his body, right?
Oh, he produces it. Like a spider would.
Yeah, but is it unlimited? Like, or does he need to, like... I guess the crux of it is, does his sperm come out like that?
It's like me saying I can't come... Well, probably I could test the limit of me coming, but...
Yes, please.
To a point.
And that will be our first video podcast, guys.
No, because I've actually had people who've died from coming too much. Or over stroking it.
Is it still considered a happy ending?
Oh,
I'm sorry, I will log off from life. I'm so sorry.
Well, that's the best way to go, isn't it? Imagine of all the horrible ways you could die, and if jacking off is your way to get out of this world, man, sign me up.
Halle Berry, you have been formally invited many times on this podcast. If that doesn't entice you, I don't know what will.
No, imagine.
And I will watch. I will gladly watch.
If I'm terminally ill, mate,
How?
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Okay, this is gonna get dark for
This
such
is
a
some
long
Red
episode.
Rocket shit. This is, yeah, right?
Let's just continue with the movie.
Oh, you don't want to...
No, I think it's taking to such a weird tangent.
Okay, tune in next week for a happy ending. What are we doing?
Yeah.
This is who we are. We love you guys, and hopefully you guys love us just as much. Let's talk about... We've already talked about Nicolas Cage's character. We've also talked about Spider-Ham. Gwen Stacy, there's nothing else you want to say about her?
Not really. They have a good connection with Miles from the get-go. that's more to do with their spidey senses
I think
tintillating
it was
each
nice
other.
that they had a shout out for a woman Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Surely in multiple universes, their chances are you at least have one woman in there.
Right?
Yeah, otherwise,
Because then you're blatantly.
mate,
And there was
it's
also
a mathematical.
Kamiko.
It's a mathematical.
There was also Kamiko as well. Kamiko-san.
Kamiko,
And she obviously
she plays
she's a girl
Penny
as well.
Parker, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, she's quite nice, and it felt quite.
They
a
did
bit...
have some. I'm not going to call them stereotypes. They did have some classic like Japanese / anime tropes.
It felt a bit Hello Kitty to me.
Yeah, but like I don't think it was done in like a disrespectful way.
Yeah,
like they had,
not.
like really like she was really tiny, and there was a point where she was inside of the pod and she was eating all of these candies as well. And then I was actually really excited because she started speaking in Japanese. So I thought for the rest of the movie she would be speaking in Japanese, but she didn't.
No, she didn't.
That was very disappointing.
You know when she was eating all the candies? You know who it reminded me of?
Elle?
Yes.
From Death Note?
Yes. I feel like we need to rewatch Death Note again.
We do.
Yeah.
With Ryuk.
Yeah.
William Dafoe kind of did an okay job.
I am not even going to...
You're not acknowledging it?
I am not acknowledging it.
Not in your household?
And Netflix need to just purge that out of their list.
And Netflix need to stop slapping Netflix originals on stuff. We know you didn't do it. Stop being the Drake and the Cardi B of the world. We know you don't write that shit. I'm gonna stop.
Tell them, Soldier Boy. You all right
No,
there?
that was Nikki. We fucking love Nikki.
No, we love Nikki, but your stance is from Soldier's Boy's perspective.
Soldier? If anyone listens to hip hop, there you go. There's your reference there. But yeah, I enjoyed some of the sort of reference points that they had for Penny's character. I wonder if people got offended, but I feel like it wasn't anything you could get offended over. But it's 2019 and PC babies cry even when they don't know what they're crying about.
Yeah, and she's the only one. She's the only one that lost the Spider-Man, because her Spider-Man power wasn't her specifically. Was more the suit that was
the techs and gadgets. Yeah.
Her suit had the Spider-Man abilities, and she lost that. But she went back to her universe with the spider, so not all was lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They needed to have some levity. And this was rated PG, and I actually didn't mind.
Yeah.
Right? And something that I do want to mention as well, it was such a unique hero sort of movie. I don't think I've been this excited about a movie while I was watching the movie since like The Dark Knight. They're worlds apart.
Whoa.
Right? Fight me, kids. No, like they're completely vastly different. But my satiation, you're welcome. I'm going to stand by it.
Mm-hmm.
My satiation through watching this movie was very similar to that. I don't remember, and it's just me. It's just my personal sort of preference, for your preference, by the way. I just don't really care for superhero movies anymore. So it was nice. It was nice to be able to dip my toe in again and not have to worry too much about, the droning, the constant droning and the forced jokes of the usual sort of Marvel formula.
Yeah, I understand. I understand where you're coming from. But for me, this stood out as a really good movie, and there's been heaps of other good animated movies for different superheroes that have, from Justice League to
X-Men. She said very tentatively.
No, but yeah, I understand your point of view, and I know I drag you out to these movies all the time in the cinema. Like,
yeah, you do.
Come, let's go watch Avengers.
Fun fact, I think it was Winter Soldier, right? Apparently there was this like iconic scene of Captain America holding the helicopter.
Oh, man.
I fucking fell asleep. And then the next day, OT was like, oh, I was fucking splooshing over this. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And then I see all of these gifs of, not Chris Pine. What's that motherfucker's name?
Chris Evans?
Chris Evans. I just see everyone is splooshing over this scene and I fell asleep. I was the only person that didn't understand what this reference was. But I get it. I saw the muscles and everything. It's fine.
Oh, it's fine.
It's not fine. It's just fine. I don't think kids say that anymore. Fine.
Oh, I wasn't trying to be anyone. I'm being me, mate. I can be who I want to be. Just, I've learned that, there are multiple universes out there.
And in one of them, you're just continuously coming.
Yes, without dying.
Yes, and that's a callback to earlier in this episode. And Spiderverse also has a few callbacks, which I really appreciated as well. We didn't even talk about his relationship with his uncle.
Oh, yeah.
How nice. Until he actually cultivated the relationship with his father, his uncle kind of took the place of that in lieu of, him not being close with his dad. And it was quite nice because he took the time to get to know Miles, which was a bit different to the dad. The dad was really weird for 2019. He was kind of like our dads, like OG, old school dads of like, I don't recognize my children having any feelings.
Mate, you're there to be seen, not heard.
Exactly. The only time I should see your ass is when you're cleaning the house. Like,
oh my God. Yes.
You're telling me you have dreams and feelings? How dare you?
One thing that I didn't really get, when Miles pulled his mask off and revealed that it's him to the uncle when the uncle's about to kill him or whatever, the uncle put back his mask on. And for a second, I thought he put the mask on so that he could actually just kill him without feeling any sort of guilt.
Yeah. I actually thought that as well.
And they took that opportunity. Well, Fisk took that opportunity away from him when he shot him. Because I feel like that's what he was going to do.
Nah.
What do you reckon?
Nah, I think it's more like muscle.
To make it easier. If I can't see you, I'll just pretend it's not you and just, bam, get down with it.
Nah. And again, this is probably just what I wanted, so it's probably not necessarily true, but I want to believe that in all of the multiverses, he was actually looking out for Miles. That genuinely, that's what I believe what was going on. And I don't really know why he put the mask back on, but he did back away. So in that
because he was shot.
No, he backed away and then he got shot. In any case, you say he has this intention. I say he has a different one.
I didn't say I just said it's a possibility in all those multiverses.
Do you hear that, kids? It's a sound of backpedaling or flip-flopping.
It's a sign of intelligent discussion, mate.
No, that left a long time ago. So I think there's a South Park episode where they're continuously Randy. Of course, it's Randy. He's like jacking off the whole episode.
Yeah.
Dreams come true.
Dreams come true.
But anyway, I just want to believe that he was looking out for Miles. I'm just going to believe that.
Yeah, me too. I just raised a possible scenario that could have happened anyway.
I hope eventually like Miles reveals to his parents that he is Spider-Man, because it would be nice for him to have that sort of support as well. Going back to the uncle, because it seemed like it was generally accepted. Yeah, because it was generally accepted that Kingpin was an evil guy, right?
No.
Because there was the octopus lady and he was there as well. And then you also have the scene when Miles is fighting Kingpin and the dad is cheering for Spider-Man.
Just because of what Kingpin had done up until to that point, because Fisk created, what was it? They attended this seminar where they're paying them respects to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So that's Fisk creating some sort of facade. Exactly. So he's not a bad guy. He's just a well-off-to-do guy, and he's hosting a event to,
Oh, well, I had a question, but it's void now.
You're welcome.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I think the uncle was a great guy. I guess it's hard to reconcile that your uncle tried to kill you and he was working for an evil guy, because Miles knew that. at least. But
Well, it wasn't personal. He didn't really know it was Miles.
yeah, but he was still working for an evil corporation.
He was.
And he
Then
was the
again,
hitman.
he said before he died, I was just trying to make you proud of me. I don't know what the hell he was doing would make anyone proud, but whatever tickles your coloccus.
Yeah, your phrase or Kenyan mine. Wow, we are learning a lot today.
That we are.
Whether you can apply it anywhere, not so much. But if you do win a quiz show based on any of the banter that we have, we would like half of it. Thanks. In perpetuity. So let's talk about Fisk, Kingpin. Because a lot of the time, if you've listened to a few of our episodes, we do talk about the relatable villain.
Yeah.
Right? And having understandable origin stories. Being like, yeah, if that happened to me too, I would go on a bloody path of rampage.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know, man. Kingpin's kind of evil, like through and through. Right? I don't know what the scenario was, but he was choking Spider-Man out in his own house. I'm assuming it was his own house because the wife and the son walked in while that was happening. So, this guy is out for blood. So I'm not sure what made him that way, but he was kind of like a shark in water. And he had a boner for Spider-Man. Right? He was gunning for it. And he didn't, even through the movie, near the end of it, you're like, stop blaming Spider-Man. Spider-Man's not the reason why, your wife and son aren't here anymore. And I'm like, dude, does that look like the sort of person that takes accountability? Does he look like the sort of person that apologizes when he cuts people off in traffic? No.
That's the kind of person that would blame bloody Twitter for getting into an accident. Sorry, that's a reference from Black Mirror.
Smithereens. Andrew Scott, Damson Idris. Mwah, delicioso. Go and listen to our Black Mirror episode, guys. But yeah, it's like, okay, if you look at it on paper and you ignore the fact that he doesn't care for Spider-Man, well, he has a really vehement rage against Spider-Man. Yeah, it's sad. He lost his wife and he lost his son while they were fleeing away from him. So on paper, that's quite sad, but he kind of caused those events.
Yeah. Yeah, he was definitely the curator of his own misery, and he should, if he should hold anyone accountable for this, it's definitely just him.
But he wouldn't.
Him.
He's gonna blame the world, be angry at the world.
Yeah, and he's exceptionally strong.
He looks strong though.
Miles's blows and until he had his father cheer him on, it was like all his blows and tricks wasn't doing anything to him.
Well, he was still fairly new.
Yeah, I get that.
Even Kingpin was like, the real Spider-Man couldn't tear me down, and you're trying?
Yeah.
So yeah, and it was quite sad when they were going through dimensions and he sees his wife and son.
Yeah, it was sad. It
Super
really
sad.
Was, yeah. And he was doing the same thing. So it was just like, hell, man.
He was. Thank you. That's another callback. Good for you.
So in this universe, you left us, but in another multiverse, when you're leaving us, you're still seeing the same version of, oh my God.
Yeah. And another callback that I want to mention that was quite cute in this film. So he has a really solid relationship with his uncle. And, he talks about a girl that he's interested in, who we later find out is Gwen Stacy. And his uncle tries to, show him how to woo a lady. Respectfully, because it's 2019, but you should respect women whenever. But he was talking about, putting your hand on the shoulder. And do you want to give us a nice, deep hey?
Hey.
Oh.
Oh.
Panties are dropping.
Oh, I can see.
Oh, my. They don't need to know. So close.
The conditions under which this podcast is being recorded.
These are their stories. Chung chung.
Wait, why are we in SVU?
Because it's great.
Okay.
Let's go back. We're
Yes.
talking about how to woo a lady. And he tries it. And that is that quintessential sort of teenage angst. And, you know, like going through really awkward stages with the opposite sex or the same sex. We love you guys. We're progressive. And he just really tanks it. And it's really awkward when he says, hey, right?
Yeah.
But then later on in the movie, he does the same thing to Kingpin. And it is inspired. It is great. I really enjoyed that. It was a nice tasty morsel.
It really is. It really is when they use a callback quite effectively as they do, you know?
Yeah, and it needs to make sense.
It does. It does. Because we've watched plenty of movies that use a
Martha! Stupid. That's not a callback, but the rage continues for that.
Yeah.
Goodness me.
You know, you wonder how many people had to sit through, read the scripts, and just think, hey, we're good with filming this. This works.
Right?
Oh, anyway, that's a podcast for another day.
It is. When the wounds have healed, which will take a while.
Not even then, just when the wounds are still festering.
Wow, you're fucking grim today. It was such a light movie. We talk about really heavy stuff and then we have some levity and now we're doing the opposite thing. Let us know. Give us some feedback, guys. I don't know if I verbally express it on this podcast, but I do say, you know, a lot of the time, not every movie needs a love story. Titanic, case in point. The whole circumstance surrounding the Titanic is really fucking fascinating. You didn't need to slap a love story in there. In saying that, in being old and bitter and in saying that, I kind of did want to kiss at the end.
But they'd just known each other.
Romeo and Juliet only knew each other for 3 days.
And that's why they killed themselves. It's not healthy.
Well, it was unrequited love.
This is the levels of stunning you're talking about earlier. Boom, another callback. But anyway.
I stand you in my trophy case.
Okay. I'll just pretend I didn't hear that.
Okay, let's start to wrap up now. I just wanted to make a comment, and I guess you can respond if you want to or not. It's your life.
Mm-hmm.
So we've had over 20 Marvel movies, and Avengers Endgame has closed its chapter. Even though you really aren't, you're still going to continue, which whatever, it's its own thing. And then we have Tom Holland, the new wave of Marvel movies, and then Scarlett Johansson character is going to come back as well in her own movie. And then you have like Spiderverse. Do you think at some point it's too much? I enjoyed this movie. I definitely enjoyed this movie. But do you think it's like too much now?
I don't think so. I think you'd always get the Marvel machine trying to cog out as many things.
No, I'm not asking whether they're capable. It's quite clear. It's quite clear that they've got the resources.
No, and that's not what I meant. Like, stories will need to be told. And
they don't need to be told. They've been told. They need to take a break.
But I think what have they done with the 20 or so movies we've talked about is they wrote that with Avengers Endgame in mind.
Okay.
So right now, what they're trying to create post Iron Man, post Captain America is something new.
When did you have time between now and those 20 movies to drink the Kool-Aid?
I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm just saying maybe that's their trail of thought. Like, movies will need to be made, and this is how we're going to do it. The first 20 batch of movies they've done to try and create something that gears towards some sort of ending.
Yeah.
And then now with Spider-Man and in a post-Iron Man world, we see how this transforms and goes
But
into
it's
something
long
else.
and it's arduous is my point.
Plus, the Marvel universe is so vast and there's so many characters that we've not even covered yet. They've not even covered yet. So this, and the fact that...
Are you leading in to say that we're going to cover
No.
one?
And the fact that X-Men was also coming into the Marvel universe as well. So there's plenty of stuff that will happen. Plenty.
Well,
it might not be as fresh. People might be jaded, but you'll definitely still get people making a killing in the movies. Well, Marvel making a killing in the movies.
That's guaranteed.
Yeah,
like that's guaranteed. They're obviously going to get their monies back.
Plus, we just got Black Panther.
Listen to our Black Panther episode, guys. It is a treat. You'll enjoy it. I don't know, but I'm going to be old and bitter, but at the same time, I don't have to go and unless OT's going to drag me, I don't have to watch those movies. So I guess my outrage will just stop there anyway. But yeah, that's just my usual rant of Marvel movies and constant reboots as well. But that's for another day. Yeah, and let's leave it there. But good for you guys. If you continue to make different amazing soundtrack, amazing acting, I might buy a ticket. We'll see. But accolades where accolades are due is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And we're done, guys. We made it. Congratulations. In all the multiverses. Oh, I'm so sorry. I want to ask one more question.
Go for it.
And it's not sexual, would you believe?
Oh, what's the point then?
Right? Let's pack up and go home. Okay, so you've got multiverses, right? But are they all moving at the same time in history?
I guess so.
Because everyone's the same age, right?
No, Peter B. Parker was a bit older.
See, that's what I'm trying to understand. That was kind of what I was like interested in. It didn't distract me from the movie, but I was wondering, like, how does this multiverse actually work? Because in most cases, you're exactly the same, just somewhere else, right?
Well, that's what we meant. In most movies, that's how they go with. But then again, every movie has a weird way of...
It doesn't matter what your explanation is. Time is non-linear, bitches. Smoke bomb. Oh,
we just watched
goodness.
We Are Family with, it's the...
Fighting with My Family.
Fighting with My Family. What did that say?
How good was that? Very solid.
Yeah, it's a really good movie.
Yeah.
Highly recommended.
If you want us to do a podcast episode on it and you want to hear about us growing up and trying the wrestling moves and the People's Champ, let us know, because it was great. It was a really nice movie, but let's leave it there.
Yeah, you could just imagine.
It doesn't matter what your response is. I'm going to do this for the rest of the night. You know that. It's for your reference. And you lost your privilege of going first, so I'm going to do it, okay? This week, if you enjoyed Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and you are a bit younger than us, like you're still in high school, not to assume that you haven't watched it, but I do strongly recommend Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Even though we don't stand William Dafoe. How dare you?
No, I'm not. Yeah.
I'm doing the dance right now. I'm doing the Tobey Maguire dance, and you can't do anything about it.
You know what? Sometimes people are too serious about movies. Just fucking go and enjoy it. It is what it is.
Like, just allow yourself the privilege of enjoying something. Stop being Snooty McSnoot face. Just calm down.
I'm not going to expect Daniel Day-Lewis level of performances on a Marvel or superhero movie,
Second to none.
Yeah, you get what you get, mate. Anyway, yeah. My reference is Alita, Battle Angel. It's
nice.
Quite good.
Nice.
Quite good doesn't do it justice. It's great. It's about a cyborg who doesn't remember anything about themselves, and they go on a quest to try and find themselves. So it's amazing. It's quite original.
And if you want us to do an episode on that, let us know.
We will do it. Like, it's quite amazing. Get your butts off to the cinema. I think it's still showing in a couple of places.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully it'll come on Netflix soon as well. So there's hoping to that.
It's kind of great. This streaming culture is kind of great, which we've talked about. But let's finish it off. Thank you so much, guys. If we didn't lose you in all of the salaciousness and the frivolity, thank you. We appreciate you. You're our type of people, obviously. On Twitter and Instagram, we're For Your Ref Pod. We're kind of on Facebook, but not really.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, thank you for all sending your love on email, which is hello@fypodcast.com. We appreciate it. We try and respond as fast and as detailed as possible. So, continue writing in, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, and thank you so much to everyone that has shown us love on Apple Podcasts. And if you haven't, that's fine. You can still be part of the crew. We can still be best friends. You can leave us a rating and a review if you care enough.
Yeah. See ya.
Time is long, Lydia.